In this video, I'm going to show you some more advanced techniques that you can add into your template creation to customize it just a little bit more. So we're going to hop in to Photoshop, going to create a new document, and this one we're going to call texture template. And we'll keep the settings the same for a portrait Instagram. We'll rename this as 1. And then we're going to add a solid color as the background. Doesn't matter what it is. And then we're just going to rename this image_1. So now we have a base template, and this would work. Like if you just save this, open it up in Framebatch, it would place one image onto this. So what we want to do is kind of use Framebatch as an engine. And we're going to do this in 2 steps. So we're going to have Framebatch run once, and it's going to add textures to the bottom of our artboards. And then we will adjust that and add image frames on top of it to create a new template after that. That might be a little easier to just see than for me to explain it. So let's get started. So we have one artboard, but kind of the magic of Framebatch is that we aren't just doing one at a time, but we're doing multiples at a time. So let's use Command J to duplicate these artboards. I say we'll do 6 total. And I'm just going to select these so it's a little bit easier to bring into frame. And then let's rename these 1 through 6. And 6. So if you go inside of here, you'll notice that it kept the same layer names. That's one of the reasons we use artboards. And this is ready to go. So we're going to save this. I'm going to save this in our demo folder as texture template. So then when we pull up Framebatch, we're going to browse desktop demo, find the texture template, and then we're going to use this beige papers, which I've got just a folder full of textures that I got. You can get these from online. You can take photos yourself. And so we're just going to use these as background textures. And the cool thing is, this base layout that we've saved, it's not going to get destroyed or transformed in any way. So we will have a new one that we can run through to make 6 brand new ones. So let me just call this beige papers template, and we're going to run it. And that should be pretty quick. So we hit OK. So now we've got 6 layouts that have the papers already applied to the backgrounds. So what we're going to want to do inside of this is now we need to rename these background, and you can hit Command A to select all, Command C to copy that name, and then we can just double click and hit Command V on each of these. And what we're essentially doing here is we're just making sure that Framebatch no longer tries to place an image here, because we want to keep these the same, right? So now we can go ahead and save this in our demo as beige templates, but we're going to add a little bit more to this. So we're going to go into, let's do the first one. The first artboard, we're going to grab our rectangle tool. And for this, I'm thinking we're going to make just 2 layouts. And I know I'm moving quickly here. Hopefully you can pay attention a little bit to the keyboard shortcuts on the screen to kind of get an idea for how I'm doing these layouts. So I'm going to group these, center them up, then ungroup them. And all we have to do is now name these image 1 and image 2. And we can just keep going along. So in the second one, let's make this a vertical layout. And the third one, let's make this, and you can be as complex as you want on this. In number 4, let's get a little crazy. So I'm looking for a tool. Yes, polygonal lasso tool. So this lets you just create like a really funky shape based on what you want. So this doesn't even look all that great, but I'm going to create a new layer. Now I have a selection here, create a new layer. I'm going to hit Option Backspace, and that's going to fill it with our foreground color. And then you can hit Command D to deselect that. So as weird as it seems, as long as we label this as image 1, it will place an image inside of that. So let me make sure I didn't forget to label these. Image _1. Make sure you capitalize that I. It's important. Okay, so we got 2 more layouts to make here. We don't need to do a new layer. Let's go. The other cool thing is you can do ellipses or circles. If you hold shift as you drag, then it will keep, otherwise it'll make an oval, which you might want to do, but if you hold shift, it'll keep it as a perfect circle. And then you can hit V on the keyboard and use these alignment tools. And then on this last one, let's make it, let's rename that. And then on the last one, let's make a bunch of these. If you have the layer selected, you can hold Option, click and drag, and you can just duplicate. So let's create like a cool little series of these. Now that I've made 3, I want to hold shift, select all these layers, and then now we can hold Option and drag down as well. So I'm going to make something like a, I don't know, this is kind of a weird grid. And then I'm going to group all of these together, and I'm going to align that. So that's kind of funky and cool. The most tedious part of this is now we need to name these. One trick I like to do is once I type image underscore, you can hit Command C, and then we can paste that in, do 2, 3, 4. Once you get into this workflow, it gets quite a bit faster. Obviously we're like creating templates here. So any amount of work that we do here, if we reuse the template, it's just multiplied over and over and over. The time savings. So, and that's it. Okay, so not the most earth-shattering, crazy template that I've ever made, but hopefully this shows you kind of the variety. So let's go ahead and save that. And we're going to close this out. And then now we're going to use Framebatch to fill that template that we just made. So let's browse to it. Beige papers, and then we're going to change the image folder to just the folder of actual images, and then we'll do beige paper test as the project name, hit batch frames, and now it's going to go through and fill that, and it should complete here in just a few seconds. And you can see that even on this one, which might take some adjusting. Obviously, this is going to be based on your own creativity, but that's how we can make kind of multi-layered templates that we can reuse. Say we don't like any of these layouts. We just go back, type in a new name, hit batch, run it again. It's only going to cost us, 12 seconds of our life to do that, which it would take a lot longer to lay those out manually. And so I still don't love this shape, but this is more of an illustration of a concept than anything. I think this is actually really cool and would only need a little bit of adjustment to really get something that looks cool. I would probably swap these. So actually, let me show you how to do that. So if you hold Option, click in between the images, we would move this over here now. And then I believe this is the one. So let's move this to this one. Hold Option, click in between the layers to clip it. And then you can move it around. And then this one, we need to put over this one that doesn't have anything. And let's reframe that. That looks pretty cool. I might include that on some of my future templates. But this is just an idea to get you going, to help you brainstorm new ideas for your own templates. Honestly, your creativity will really drive how cool your layouts can be. So I hope this inspires you just a little bit to create your own templates, and I would love to see the templates that you create. Make sure to tag us on Instagram at Framebatch.